Welcome, friends. I'm Kristin, and this is Move, Pray, Love, your Christian stretch which gets you moving, keeps you praying, so you can keep on loving. Today, we're talking about stand in our study of the Ephesians, book of Ephesians, and we're focusing on Ephesians 6:10, when Paul writes, "Finally, be strong in the Lord, in His mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so you can take your stand against the devil's schemes." All right, so let's start standing, not surprisingly, and we're going to start in what a yogi would call mountain pose. And we're reminded of Jesus' saying that says, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can say to that mountain, move, and it will move. And sometimes the mountain is actually ourselves, isn't it? So we're going to stand in mountain pose, and we're going to end in mountain pose, and we're going to seek the Lord's will in helping us stand in His power, not our own power, but in His power. So we're going to start in mountain pose, taking a deep breath in, reaching up, dropping those shoulders, making sure they're not right up here. Keep them nice and released, creating space, and let it out. Again, breathing in, reach, 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 but keeping those ribs in, and let it go. Whatever's happened today or in the night, if you're joining us in the morning, just let it all out. And one more time. This time we're going to leave it up, and we're going to lace the hands together, and we're going to stretch and keep our shoulders away from our ears. And I'd like you to gently grab one wrist, grab your right wrist, and just take your ear over to your left side. Making room, making space. Feeling your body relax as you do that. And coming up to the center, switching sides. Now taking your right hand and grabbing your left wrist and taking it over. Making sure your head goes with you. Your head is in alignment with the neck. Make sure you're not doing this. Keep it aligned with the neck. Make sure you remember to breathe. And as you do, connect those ribs into the chest. One more time, switching sides, grabbing that wrist, that right wrist, and pulling it gently over to the side. Exhaling as you do. Remember to breathe. And up, and switching sides, grabbing the left wrist with the right hand. And as you breathe, I just want you to be breathing in the Spirit and breathing out the stress. And now coming to the center, let it go. Nice and slow though this time. And we're going to start with tree pose. And I'm reminded of Psalm 1 where it talks about being like a tree planted by living water. It does not wither, and everything it does prospers. And so let's be like those trees planted by living water. Even when you can't see our fruit out of season, we know that we're rooted and grounded in the Lord's love. We're going to take our left foot, and you might want to just start with it on your ankle or your calf or your knee. Or if you really want to go for it, feeling kind of flexible already and strong, tuck it right under that inner thigh, right in that inner thigh, and breathe. You might want to take your hands to prayer position. Breathing in the Spirit and breathing out the stress. Breathing in the Spirit and breathing out anything that no longer serves you. As a tree planted by living water. You may be down with your leg here or even at the ankle, and you're still working because you're working those inner thighs, you're opening up those hips. That leg, that standing leg is standing strong in the Lord's power. The abs are tucked in against the spine. And we're breathing. You might want to take on an additional challenge wherever you are in this tree pose. You might want to take those arms above your head. Remember, shoulders down. You might want to close your eyes. I don't think I'm going to do that today, but you might want to. All these things are ways we can just move with the breath. We can let go of those things that no longer serve us and tap into the Spirit that surrounds us, that's within us. Holy Spirit, come. Help us be like trees planted by living water as we stand in your power, not our own power. And just reversing it, taking those hands back to prayer position, opening your eyes if you had them closed. Well done. Well done, everybody. Well done, everybody, wherever you are, here. And we take it down, shake out those legs. Starting with quite a challenging one there. Let's do the other side, shall we? So again, we just open up that hip. This is my weak hip, so we'll see how this goes. Open up that hip. You might want to put it at the ankle, the calf, the knee, or use your hand to tuck it in right in the inner thigh. Remember to breathe. Be that tree planted by living water, standing in His mighty power. And you might want to take your hands up. Try to smile. Smile in the Spirit. I can feel the warmth of your smiles through the camera. Holding it there. If you feel really brave, try closing your eyes. Ooh, I'm not that brave. Standing in His power. Shoulders are down. Make sure you don't, whoa, if you fall, that's okay, because the Lord will catch you. Just a few more breaths. Ooh. A few more breaths. Okay, let's go back down to here. Yeah, good. And back to mountain. Arms reversing the pose, prayer position, and down. Excellent. Excellent, everybody. Let's shake out those legs. Whew. It was a good one. To move those feet around. Just relax those toes up and down. We're going to go now into a calf stretch. So I'd like you to put one leg before the other and just step that leg back. I'm going to move back a little bit. Actually, I'm going to move it to the side so you can see what I'm doing. You're sort of at the top of your mat and you're going to press one leg back and try to get that heel down. Try to get that heel down, working into that calf. Our calves are getting a lot of work right now, particularly if you aren't wearing shoes around the house. It is taking our feet to all new levels. So let's just go up and down. Let's add the arms up and down. The knee is over the ankle. Up and down. Remember that the shoulders are not right up at the ears. We're not doing this. We're keeping them down. And last one, keep it down. Hand might be on the knee. Knee is over the ankle. We don't want to be over the ankle. We want to be just above the ankle. And we're stretching out that calf. Now I want you to take that knee, bend it slightly. Now you're going to stretch the front of the shin. That muscle in front of the shin that sometimes gets a bit stressed. And now we're going to just take that leg back a little bit, bring our hands to prayer position, and just stretch out. Now the stretch should be coming into the quad and hip flexor area. We're just going to have our hands in prayer position, shooting up those prayers, listening to the Lord's love and receiving his power afresh as we stand in his love. Make sure you breathe. Nice, nicely done. And let's come up. Nice big step, and we just take the other leg back now. Calf is down, and we're going to just take it up. A little mobility stretch and down, up and down, reaching up and down, reaching up and down. And on the next one, we're going to stay there. Stay there, press that calf back, trying to get that heel to the ground. Breathe into the stretch. Breathe into the stretch. Good. Front knee, remember, is over the ankle, not in front of it. Abs are against the spine. Remember, our ribs don't splay out. And now I want you to bend the knee gently so that the stretch moves to the front of the leg, the front of the shin. Just hold it there. Breathe into it. Now I want you to take that leg back just a little bit more. Knee is still right over the ankle. Taking the arms to prayer position, right at the chest. And now the stretch should be really at the front of the leg and into the hip. Front of the leg and into the hip flexor. Breathing into the stretch. If you want to take it to the floor, if that's better for you, you can do this. If you're happy to be up, stay here. Standing in prayer position as we move and pray and love. And now with a big step, we step to the front. Excellent job. Okay, now we're gonna just take the legs wide and wider than hip distance apart. Hands are on the hips now. And we're gonna stretch the backs of the legs. And we're gonna do a hamstring stretch. So hands are on the hips. We're gonna take that chest down. Feet are slightly turned in, yeah? And I want you to just bring that head over so that first you're parallel with the floor. Head is an extension of the spine. Abs are, into the spine. Use that core. You should be feeling this stretch in the back of your legs, particularly up near the bum. Breathing in and out into the stretch. Now I want you to take it down a little bit further, grabbing the elbows, head between the elbows, and just hang there. Let the body bring you down. Now I want you to place hands onto the mat. Some of you might be able to even go as low as getting your heads on the mat. I can't do that yet, but if you can, please do go ahead. But just try to press that head between the legs. Now I want you to crawl those hands over to the right leg. Put your left hand on the outside of your right leg and twist up, looking at the ceiling. Remembering to breathe. Let's reverse it, taking the arm down, crawling those hands over to the left side, putting that right hand on the outside of the left foot, and twisting up. And coming back down. Once again, we're going to reverse it. Grab those elbows, just hang there for a minute. Really working to straighten those legs. And now take it to a flat back, arms forward. And now to the hands to the waist and come up. Well done, everybody. Well done, everybody. Last one. By the way, that one is really good if you've been sitting all day and you've in a chair and your hamstrings are getting shorter and shorter all the time. It's a great one to just lengthen it out. We're going to do one more, which is called diving dancer. And you may not take it all the way to a dive, but it is a great standing stretch. You can even do this when you're on a conference call or a Zoom sometime and you want to walk around. All right, so I want you to stand again this way. This is a bit of a balance one again. We start in mountain pose. We grab one leg. I'm going to take the left one, but choose whichever one you want. Put the foot in your hand, nice and easy. And this itself is working. This itself is a stretch. You're having to balance. You're using your core. You're standing in the Lord's mighty power. You're probably squeezing your glute a little bit to stay stable. And now, for those who want more of a challenge, you're going to go into diving dancer. And you're going to just put your arm out. I might do this to the side for you in a minute. And just extend that leg back into an extension. I'm going to show you from the side. So if you want, you're welcome to just stay here, by the way. You can get a lot of work here, both in terms of core stability and balance, as well as a stretch if you press that hip forward and that quad forward. I want you to take an arm out. This is also a further extension of the work. And what we're working toward is this sense of stretch and release and strength all at the same time. Whew. Okay, now let's do the other side. So again, we start by we grab the leg. This itself is good. So feel free to, whoop. This is my weak one. Feel free to stay here if that's good for you. And just hold the stretch. Releasing into that hip, releasing into that quad, squeezing that glute. And now if you want to add the arm, and if you want to add the dive, focusing just ahead of you. Taking it back up. Feet come down. And back to mountain pose. Take a deep breath in. I hope you feel better than you did 15 minutes ago when you started this practice. Breathing in, lots of the spirit. Breathing out, lots of the stress. As Adrian says, breathe a little love in and a lot of love out. We move, we pray, we love so that we can love. And we do it not in our own strength, but in the standing in the Lord's mighty power so that we can stand against the schemes of the enemy. See you next time for a practice on the armor of God. God bless and see you soon.